Welcome to Wedding Crashers University, episode 2. We're talking how to get started as a wedding filmmaker. Thank you for tuning in again, being a faithful viewer. We appreciate it. And we hope that what you're learning now is helping you out and you're already on this path to becoming an amazing wedding filmmaker. So today, we're going to be talking about the equipment essentials, what you are going to need as a beginner to get started as a wedding filmmaker. Last episode, we talked about learning from a mentor, finding a company to get involved in, and that's awesome. Hopefully you can get on some gigs. Hopefully you can start shooting some weddings, getting that experience. And even if you're working for someone else, maybe they have equipment that you can use, but they might also not have equipment for you to use. So therefore, you may want your own equipment. Not only that, but having your own equipment is gonna set you apart from others and actually help you get on jobs. And so there are some things that you wanna buy.
You gotta spend money to make money.
The first reason why we recommend buying your own camera and buying your own equipment is that you're gonna learn how to operate it. And you're going to learn, what is aperture? How do I use the shutter speed? How do I use this lens? You're not gonna show up to a wedding and try to learn all the equipment there. It's great to be able to have your own equipment and be able to test it out and use it before the wedding day. Number 2, this also allows you to shoot outside of weddings. Something that I recommend doing is filming with your friends. Whenever you're traveling, bring your camera along and capture those moments. Try to make little videos of just your everyday life. It can literally be anything. As long as you have at least a camera and a computer, you can be free to get creative and start to learn how to be a great filmmaker. Now we're gonna talk about some of the actual equipment that we recommend specifically. To get started, I would recommend the number 1 setup, which I also have right here. This setup is a mirrorless camera with a 24-105 lens. This setup is very versatile. It's going to allow you to film a lot of things on the wedding day, such as prep, first look, ceremony. There's a lot of uses for this lens, this focal length. You can move around, you can get tight shots, you can get wider shots. It's very versatile. And these mirrorless cameras also have great low light. They should do you well through an entire wedding day. So the first 3 mirrorless camera options are the Lumix S5, which is $1,700. With the lens, it is $3,000. This is our lowest cost option. And honestly, the one that we use here at Hello Darling Films, we use the Lumix cameras, the S5. We also have some S1s, but these are awesome. These are great cameras. They compete very well with the other options we're about to mention. So if you're looking for the cheapest option, this is one to go with, and I promise they're amazing as well. Our second option is the Sony a7 IV. Sony is another great mirrorless camera option and honestly does a lot of the same things that the Lumix does for you. And the a7 IV is $2,500, and with the 24-105 lens is $3,700. So our third option is the Canon R6, which is $2,500, and with the 24-105 lens is $3,600, $3,600. Now, all of these options are great. They're between $3,000 to $4,000. So under $4,000, you're gonna get a great camera setup. You're going to be set for a wedding day, and honestly, these cameras, they shoot 4K and they should last you for years. So honestly, this is a good investment. And as a filmmaker, having your own camera is gonna be awesome. Additionally, if you do have a lot more money and you really wanna get the best of the best, 2 options that we recommend are the Sony a7S III, which is gonna give you some higher frame rates, better ISO performance. That's gonna be $3,500 with that 24-105 lens, $4,800, and the Canon R5, which is $3,900 with a lens, $5,000. So these are more around the $5,000 range. And if you really want to ball out, if you really want to get the best of the best, these are the cameras, these are the best of the game right now and are highly recommended. So do some research, look into these cameras. We're going to include links to all of them, and you can find out for yourself what matches your style, what matches, what you want out of the camera. At the end of the day, the specs that all of these cameras have in common and that we really recommend looking out for are they're all capable of 4K 60, 4K at 60 frames per second, and they also have in-body stabilization. That's gonna be very helpful on a wedding day to have that in-body stabilization. So that's a really good one to look out for. And also good low light performance is another key, which all of these cameras have. These are all full frame mirrorless camera options, and so the low light performs well. And on wedding days, sometimes you have low light. Keep in mind that for all of these cameras, you're going to want to buy memory cards and extra batteries. For some of these cameras, you actually need to get faster memory cards or different memory cards in order to unlock the full capacity and highest resolutions of that camera. For example, on the Sony, you need a V90 card in order to shoot the 4K 120 10-bit.
Got it!
So just keep that in mind. When you're doing research, look into what specific card that camera needs as well. That's really important. Once you start shooting footage with your new camera, you're gonna wanna edit it and figure out how to tell a story, figure out how you wanna piece all these clips together. And it's really fun. And learn how to color grade, all that. You need a computer. For starters, we do recommend the Apple MacBook Pro as a great option. It's a laptop, it's portable. You're going to get enough power to edit through the footage that those cameras record. And at the bare minimum, what we recommend is a 32 gigabyte MacBook Pro. And this is gonna be at the minimum $2,900, and at the maximum it can, go to $4,000, even higher, depending on all the specs you want to upgrade. But at the minimum, you're looking at somewhere around $2,900, $3,000 to be spending on a MacBook Pro. And also a little more cost effective. You can build a PC for under $3,000 that is going to be, phenomenal for video editing. We recommend a YouTuber named Tech Notice, and we've actually used his info to build PCs at our studio, and they've worked out really, really well. So look up Tech Notice if you want to learn how to build your own PC. With your computer, the software that we recommend getting started with is Adobe Premiere. Once you have a camera and a computer and start shooting, you're gonna want an editing software. And there are a lot of different editing software options, and a lot of them, you can create great videos on a lot of different platforms. Now, the one we recommend and we use personally is Adobe Premiere. It's a great platform. It is very relevant in the industry. Many companies use it, and it does great for collaboration and works well with our workflow. If you're still a student in college or a student in high school, you can get Adobe Premiere and all of the Creative Cloud apps for $20 a month, which is honestly a phenomenal price. Save that three days that you might have gotten a coffee and get Adobe Premiere for the month. This is gonna get you all the applications: Premiere, Photoshop, Lightroom, all of it. As a student, this is a no-brainer. Now, if you aren't a student, you're a little bit out of luck, but it's okay. You can get Premiere Pro as a standalone for $21 a month. You're gonna want this program. This is the program that we use and is going to be the most effective tool to get your job done as a wedding filmmaker and as an editor. So learn this program. And it is industry standard. And what I mean by industry standard is that it's the most widely used. And if you're working for a company and you wanna start getting some experience and start editing weddings for somebody else, this is probably the program they're gonna require you to use. So it's great to start getting experience right from the start. Start using it, start learning on that platform. Now, this is an investment. These purchases are well worth it. And these are the tools that really, at a minimum, you're gonna need and that are really gonna set you up for success. And that's the goal here, is to set you up for success. It's not to just tell you all the different things that you could do. Like, this is really what we recommend. We recommend, get your own camera, get your own computer, get your own editing software. These are just gonna be tools that you're gonna need to learn how to use over and over and over again. So buy them up front, learn them, and trust the process, and you'll get there. So thanks for tuning in. Episode 2. Episode 3, we are gonna give you the pro tips. These are the secrets. These are the major keys. You're gonna be set up for your first wedding and for many more to come. So stay tuned. Wedding Crashers University.